Dr. Alyssa here with Keep the Adventure Alive. And today we are talking all about thigh and quad strengthening. We are going to go through my top 5 favorite movements. Whether you are having difficulty just standing up from a chair or you're looking to improve your ability in playing sports, this is the video for you. We're going to start with the most basic exercise and then work our way up, progressing in difficulty. The quadriceps are a group of 4 muscles in the front of your thigh. The main goal of these muscles is to help straighten your leg. And as you're standing up again, straighten the knee. What's really cool is that stronger quadricep muscles can actually be powerful in other aspects of your health, not just physical strength. For example, stronger quadriceps can help people with coronary artery disease. They can be protective of brain health. They can help reduce insulin resistance. And it can actually improve surgical outcomes in surgeries like an ACL tear and a total knee replacement. Stronger quads are important no matter what your age is. So let's get started. This first seated option is great if you are sedentary and looking to begin a strengthening program. If you have a lot of knee pain, and or have difficulty standing from a chair without using your hands. All you'll need is a long resistance band. Since the primary goal of these thigh muscles is to straighten your knee, we're going to do just that, but adding a bit of resistance to it. Take the band and put it around one leg, preferably about halfway down your foot or right in the middle of your foot. Hold onto the band with 2 hands, lift your knee up, and then straighten your knee against the band. So watch that again. Bend your knee up, and then push your knee straight. Notice my hands are staying in the same position. The closer they are to your body, the more resistance your leg is going to feel. Also, the further down they are on the band, the more resistance you will feel as well. Really work on pushing that knee as straight as you can with each repetition. They do also make bands with handles that may be helpful if you do have hand arthritis or have difficulty holding on to something. We're looking for 2 to 3 sets of about 8 to 15 repetitions. When it comes to strengthening, one big mistake I see a lot of people making is just going through the motions, even if it feels easy, just getting the repetitions in. But I want you to think about something, especially as we move through these next movements. You have to make it feel challenging. For example, if you do this once and you can easily do 10 repetitions and it doesn't really feel hard, adjust the resistance on the band by perhaps getting a stronger band or just moving your hands down or increasing the number of repetitions. You want the last 2 to 3 repetitions to feel pretty challenging. And then once this exercise starts to feel easy, you can move on to the next one. This next exercise is one of my favorites because it is easy to make this simpler or more challenging, especially if you have the presence of knee pain or are dealing with significant muscle weakness. This is one you do so often throughout the day, and it is a chair squat where you simply stand up. Notice my knee is straightening, working those quads, and then you sit down. Stand up, straighten your knees as you stand up, and then sit down. To make this easier, you can use the arms of a chair. And as you get stronger, you can start to reduce your reliance on the arms. You can also raise the seating surface using a cushion or moving to a higher surface like a bed or just a higher chair, completing the same movement. Once you can easily stand from a chair without using your arms or without using a higher surface, you can make this more challenging by adding a weight. I would start on the lower end, maybe 1 to 5 pounds. Hold it near your chest, stand up, and sit down. Nothing changes about the movement. Don't let the weight pull you forward. Keep your chest up nice and tall, straighten those legs, and then sit back down. No matter what modification or variation you are doing of this exercise, we are looking for 2 to 3 sets of about 6 to 12 repetitions. Again, making sure that the variation you choose feels challenging but doesn't compromise form. Once chair squats begin to feel easy and you can confidently stand up and down without the use of your hands, it's time to move on. This next exercise is helpful, especially if you notice that one leg perhaps isn't as strong as the other, or you have difficulty climbing up and down the stairs or walking up and down hills. Now, as a physical therapist who works with a lot of people that have osteoarthritis, my approach to a step up includes starting with a low step. For this exercise, place one foot on top of the step and again, work on straightening that knee, working the quadriceps. Step up and then down. Step up, pushing through your heel, and then step down. To make this more challenging, you can increase the height of the step. A higher step is going to allow those muscles to work even harder as you have more knee bend that those muscles have to help straighten that knee. The good thing about a lot of these exercises when we're looking at strengthening the quadriceps is they also help to strengthen other muscles as well. For example, this step up helps to also strengthen the glute muscles and the hamstrings. Both are incredibly important to support the knee joint, support the hip joint. So we're getting more bang for our buck. The goal is 2 to 4 sets of 6 to 12 repetitions. One other way that you can make this more challenging is by adding weight. I do want to caveat this with, make sure you feel confident in your balance before adding weight. You're repeating that same exercise of stepping up and stepping down. Now you just have more external resistance that your muscles have to work against. I would recommend starting with low weights here, as I commonly see when people add weight, their form changes, especially when it comes to single leg movements. Make sure you feel stable with that knee and are able to keep your chest up. Don't let the weights pull you forward or force you to really push up from this bottom leg. All of the work is in this front leg. Push up. That back leg just floats up. Increase the weight as you feel more confident. This next exercise is great if you have difficulty, particularly going down hills or downstairs. Also, it's great if you don't have knee pain standing up or sitting down in a chair. If you do, please go back and master the chair squat. We are increasing the difficulty here and starting to work those muscles in a little bit of a different way. I like to use a chair for this exercise, but if you do feel confident with a free squat, after I show you what the movement is, feel free to lose the chair. Stand in front of a chair like you were going to sit down. We're doing a chair squat, but it's a different variation that honestly makes it quite a bit more challenging. Count to 3 as you sit down. No plopping in the chair. 1, 2, 3, and then stand up quickly. 1, 2, 3, and then stand up quickly. If you want to do this in a free squat, it will look the same. Just stop when you reach parallel. 1, 2, 3, and up. 1, 2, 3, and up. Adding this slow descent works the quadriceps eccentrically, meaning they're just lengthening as we're moving down, and then as you stand up, they're concentrically contracting, or essentially just contracting the muscle, pulling it tight. This makes it more challenging because your body has more time under tension. When you're just moving through a regular chair squat, your muscles work pretty quickly. Slowing it down makes those muscles work even harder. Spending more time under tension can elicit more muscle soreness. So I would make sure you err on the lower side of repetitions. We're looking for 3 to 4 sets of 6 to 12 repetitions. Once you start to feel comfortable and don't experience significant muscle soreness, then you can increase the number of repetitions or add a weight. Very similar to the chair squat, you will hold it near your chest and complete the same movement. 1, 2, 3, and up. Adding a weight just adds more external resistance, and those muscles need to work harder. The 2 common mistakes I typically see with this movement first include letting your knees cave in as you sit down and stand up. Keep your knees in line with your ankles as you come down and as you come up. Secondly, don't allow your chest to come forward as you sit down and especially as you stand up. I like to either use my hands in front of my chest or use the weight. Keep your chest up as you sit down and stand up. This last exercise can be helpful for those who are feeling very confident with squats and still may notice some weakness one side compared to the other, or are just looking to move into higher level activities, sports, etc. This movement requires a lot of balance. It also brings in some core work, as well as not only working the quadriceps, working the glutes and hamstrings as well. This is going to be most appropriate for those who don't necessarily experience knee pain in daily life. Start with one leg. I'm going to start with my left leg stationary. Take a step forward with the other leg. Bend into a lunge, meaning I'm bending both knees and my heel is off the floor. Now here's the key part. From this position, I am pushing back with my left leg and coming into a reverse lunge. Okay, so let's try that again. Step forward with the right, bend both knees as far as is comfortable. If you want to, you can go all the way down, but if you're not there yet, that's okay. Now, push back primarily with this left leg and bring that right leg back into a reverse lunge. For this exercise, it does not take very many repetitions to feel this. You are primarily feeling the work on your left leg, the one that's stationary, especially on that pushback. But of course, since we are bending that right knee as well, it's actually working both legs. But you're still going to do this exercise on both sides. For this exercise, you're looking for about 5 to 10 repetitions on each side for about 3 to 4 sets. 1 repetition is forward and back. Again, making sure you do the same amount of repetitions on each side. If you are feeling very ambitious, you can add weight to this. I would recommend staying on the lower side here, even if you're feeling good and strong, because again, this exercise gets difficult quickly. I'll just show you on the other side. My right leg is now stationary. My left leg comes forward. I push back with this right leg and bring that left leg behind. Make sure that you take a big enough step forward. If you're too close, it will feel pretty awkward. So take a big step forward and then a big step backwards, ideally not stopping in the middle. This is where balance comes into play. The weights take away your ability to balance yourself by, say, holding your arms out. So make sure you're confident in your balance before adding weight. I hope you found this video helpful in either starting with thigh strengthening or optimizing your current routine. The goal is to choose 1 or 2 of these exercises and complete them once or twice per week. Consistency is key. Also making sure that these exercises feel challenging enough to actually elicit those gains. You made it to the end of this video, so I know you are serious about leg strengthening. One way to help maximize your leg strength, besides working on the quadriceps, is actually working on the glutes or the hip muscles. I highly recommend going to this video next to see my top glute exercises. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, click the circle here. That way you won't miss any new videos I release. Thank you so much for watching.